The KTM 300, the 2012 variant, which we are going to be testing now. I hate testing these bikes because it's so jolly good. It's a legend of a motorbike and everything about it. It holds the highest resale value. A 300 is probably the best extreme bike made at the moment, as proven by Chris Birch winning the roof 3 times, doing Romaniacs, winning Romaniacs. A lot of the top extreme guys, this is their bike of choice. Now we're going to be testing the new variant, the 2012. Totally new bike. It's a totally new bike. The whole frame, the rear shock, once again, the rear shock's 7 mm longer. So we know it has changed quite a lot. It's a totally new bike. Frames changed, shocks changed, everything's really changed. The engine characteristics have changed. So yeah, we were very excited to do it. Me not so much, because it's just so good. I prefer testing the bikes that are big and heavy and nobody likes, but everybody just loves a 300, and it's probably a universal favorite. The 2012 has obviously stepped it up a notch. It's slightly lighter, not a whole lot, I must say. It's probably about 1.5 kilograms lighter, which brings it in around about the 100 kg mark. The whole feeling of the bike, though, is substantially more feathery. They've certainly got that slim line right. It now feels like you're riding a motocross enduro bike and not so much a just enduro bike. They still have retained the open cartridge forks, which a lot of people argue about. It's probably a good thing. Open cartridge is more subtle perhaps on the rocks. But I do believe that Husaberg have proved on their 300s that the closed cartridge and open cartridge, the open cartridge does actually work on rocks. So I think they're going to be changing that perhaps for 2013. But for now, it's open cartridge and it's good. There's nothing wrong with open cartridge. It's great. The 7 mils added in the rear suspension, great. It does make the bike a little bit higher, I must be honest, compared to the 2011 KTM 300. It's a slight bit higher, but feeling is still there. The power has almost been toned down a little bit off the bottom, which is a good thing. A 300 it's an immensely powerful bike, and they have toned it down a little bit off the bottom, perhaps giving a little bit more torque, 4-strokey like, as they say. KTM 300 is really a 3-stroke. It's just right off the throttle. As you get going, it's a little bit tamer, which is a good thing, specifically in technical slippery going. The 300 that we're testing here today has got a couple of hours on it. So it's run in, the suspension has been adjusted, and it's a phenomenal bike. The fuel efficiency is exactly the same. I wouldn't say it's better or worse. Porting has been changed. They also, as they say every year, they have various windows or ports in the barrel have been upgraded or angles changed. I haven't really felt that difference. I think the biggest difference in the 2012 300 is the lightness factor. That the bike feels so light on its feet, and it's almost, it feels almost like a 250, a 2-stroke. And I know you say, well, they're the same weight, a 250 and a 300, but you must remember a 300's always had that extra engine inertia, and if you ride them back to back, you will say the 300 is heavier, but by the scale it's actually not. So the new 300 does bring in a little bit more lightness to it, giving a nice flightier ride, a very nice technical throw-around bike. As I said, it's the king of extreme technical rides. Really stopping that wheel spin going out, putting torque in. The main difference between the 250 and the KTM 300 is that wheel that goes cock, 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 or whop, whop, and then you slip and slide out. So the 300 does have that 4-strokey type of torque, bop, 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 which the 2012 really displays very well. I had with me on the day as well a 350 KTM and my Husaberg 390. Now that's probably my favorite technical bike because the power it puts down. Very smooth, controllable, not aggressive. And the new KTM 300 does very much the same thing, going up steep embankments, slippery embankments. It's more chugging, cock, 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 then whop, and braking traction. So the bike itself can tell you why, or will show you why it is a great extreme bike. It's yeah, it's probably the best two-stroke made at the moment, because there is no other two-stroke with that much technology and development being put in. KTM knew what they were doing. They're sharp boys. They knew. They just continue with this, and they will have the extreme bike that the whole world is after. So hopefully next year they'll have the closed cartridges. But as it is now, what can be said? The KTM 300 is a phenomenal bike. All-round bike, cannot be beaten.